everybody, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So I've been reading through your comments that you've been leaving on my videos, and one of the most common comments is asking me how to choose what voyage to go on and just how to know which semester at sea voyage is right for you, because they often have 3 or 4 voyages posted at a time, like 2 fall and 2 spring. So looking into the future, there's a lot of options for you. And even if you're young right now and you want to do it later on, how do you know which one is the best one for you to do? So today we're going to go over 6 things to consider when signing up for semester at sea and how to know which voyage is right for you and which one you should do. So please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video so I know to keep making more videos. And let's talk about everything that you should think about before signing up for semester at sea. First thing that you should think about when you're thinking about going on a voyage with semester at sea is what age you want to be when you go. So most people on semester at sea are from the United States, although international students are definitely welcome as well, but it just sort of ends up that since it's based through the United States, through Colorado State University, that a lot of students are from the United States as well. And in the United States, the most common time to study abroad is when you're a junior in college, and that is when you're 20 or 21 and turning 21. When I went, I was 19, I was a sophomore in college, and I was turning 20 in the first 2 weeks of the voyage, and that was just fine. I didn't feel young or anything, but everyone assumed kind of that I was a junior as well, because that was just what the majority of people were. But it was super fun to have your birthday on your voyage, so that is something that's not on my list, but it might be something fun to think about if you have a birthday in the fall or in the spring. It might be fun to sign up when your birthday is, because everyone treats you so nicely, and you feel so special having your birthday in a different country or at sea, and that would be a birthday you would never forget. Okay, let me get back to what I was talking about before, but that is a bonus one. Now there's 7 tips in this video. Who knew that I was gonna think of that? Okay, anyway, there were about 20 or so gap year or first year students on my voyage, and then maybe 20 also that were post-grad, which means they're probably 22 or 23. So it's fine to go as a gap year student if that's your only option, but if you have any other time you can go, I might recommend going at a different time, because if you're a gap year student, you have to take a freshman seminar as one of your courses, and if you're under 18, you can't participate in the drink nights on the ship or go to bars with people in country, which is a really fun way to meet friends and just hang out with people at night, so you might feel sort of left out because of that. So if you're over 18 and going as a gap year student, then you're probably fine, but you might want to wait until you're at least 18 to go on this voyage. And if you're watching this video and you're not from the United States and you don't understand what sophomore or junior means, I would just recommend trying to go in the age range of 20 to 21 if you can, but if that is not possible for you with your schooling, and if you have to go at a different age range and that's your only option to go, for sure do that. Do not miss out on this opportunity because you're not the right age. Just be sure to go when you can, if you can. The next thing to think about is how early in advance you're signing up. So if you just found out about semester at sea and you want to go on a voyage and you're a sophomore right now and you think it might be fun to go on one this next semester or something like that, you might want to wait and sign up for a voyage that's a little further in the future, because you'll have a better chance of getting in for sure if not that many people have applied yet, and also you'll have more cheaper room options available, because this is something that I did. I sort of signed up on a whim and didn't plan ahead that far, and then the cheaper room options were no longer available for me and I was forced to pay more because there's so many people already signed up for the voyage. So if you apply early on, you can have cheaper options and also ensure that you're going to get a spot on the voyage that you want. So the next thing for you to think about is spring versus fall voyages, and there's 2 parts to this. So in the United States, it's more common for juniors to study abroad in the spring. So if you go in the fall, it might be easier for you to get in and the voyage might not be so packed. And also, you're going to want to think about the holidays that you're missing in the spring and the fall if you go on this voyage. So in the fall, you're going to miss Halloween, Thanksgiving, and whatever winter holiday you celebrate, whether it be Christmas or Hanukkah if you're in the United States. And then also in the spring, you're going to miss Easter, and I know that a lot of these are family holidays. So if you feel like you don't want to miss Halloween on campus or something and that's really important to you, then you might want to go in the spring. But if you don't really care about missing these holidays, then you can go whenever you want. And the next thing that you should think about are the temperatures of the places that you're going and the time of year that you're going. So this is again sort of like spring and fall when you think about it, but my voyage went to Europe, Africa, and South America in the fall and basically stayed along the equator, so it was really warm the whole time and it wasn't during the rainy season. But some voyages in the spring that go to Asia per se are far chillier, so you're gonna have a different sort of clothing packed, and also just probably a different experience for a little bit of it because you can't be up on the pool like we were all the time because it was so hot. So you might want to look up, when you see the countries that the voyages are going to, you might want to look up the temperatures in those countries at that time of year. Like what I did is I would say, like, what is the temperature in October in Croatia, because that is when we were going to be there on that voyage. So I knew what kind of temperatures to expect, so I knew if I wanted to be there during that time. And then of course, this brings me to the next thing you should think about, which is the countries you're going to. And the first thing I'm going to say about the countries, based on like what voyage you want to go on, is what language do you already know, or which language are you learning, if that makes any sense. Because my voyage, we went to Spain when we were in Europe, and then we went to South America, which had a lot of Spanish speaking countries also. So I took Spanish in high school, so this was really easy for me to communicate with other people in these countries, and that sort of made my travel experience a bit easier. So if you're taking like Chinese in high school or college, then maybe you want to go on a voyage that goes to Asia so you can use those language speaking skills and your friends can look up to you as the person that's going to communicate for them. So like you don't have to do this you don't have to do this by any means and like look at countries where you already know the language of that they speak there, but it is really nice to be able to travel and communicate with the people that you're with and just ask questions along the way and learn a lot more. And then the last thing that I have for you to think about is again about the countries you're going to, and this one's a bit more obvious, of course. But if you see a voyage that's going to Vietnam or Morocco or something and you have been dying to go to those places for your entire life, and you know that you might not be able to go there if you had to plan the travel yourself, or that you might not get back to that region of the world on your own, then going with Semester at Sea is your best choice, and you should totally sign up for a voyage that's going to the most countries that you want to see and the ones you might not be able to get back to on your own. Because honestly, it is so nice that Semester at Sea has the travel part planned for you. Like you're on the ship taking classes and then you get off the ship in a different country. Like you don't have to plan your own flights if you don't want to, and you don't have to plan like your own travel. Like you just get to a country and it's honestly so nice. So if there's certain countries that you want to see that you don't know how you would get to on your own, then be sure to sign up for the voyage with the most of those. So that was it for this video. Please leave any comments you have or questions in the comment section below, or you can DM me on Instagram at @JessHorst, and I will try to answer your questions there as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that it helped you plan a little bit for your voyages in the future and you understand the things that go into making the decision for Semester at Sea, and I will see you guys in my next video.